The Miami Dolphins are stirring the pot once again, and this time, the buzz surrounds Nate Davis. If you've been paying attention, the Dolphins aren't shy about exploring all options to strengthen their roster, especially when it comes to the offensive line. With Davis now a free agent, there's chatter about whether Miami could be his next destination. Let's break it down and dive into why this move could be a game-changer or just another footnote in the Dolphins' pursuit of greatness. Nate Davis isn't just another name floating in the free agency pool. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 315 pounds, he's a powerful presence on the offensive line. Drafted by the Tennessee Titans in 2019, Davis quickly established himself as a reliable guard. In fact, during his 4 seasons with the Titans, he started 54 out of 55 games. That level of consistency doesn't come easy in the NFL. But what truly sets Davis apart is his impact in the trenches. He played a pivotal role in Derrick Henry's historic 2,000-yard rushing season in 2020, delivering crucial blocks that allowed one of the league's most dominant backs to thrive. For a team like the Dolphins, which has shown flashes of brilliance on offense but often struggled to control the line of scrimmage, Davis might just be the missing piece. Now, before we get too carried away, it's worth noting that Davis's time with the Chicago Bears wasn't exactly stellar. Signing a 3-year, $30 million deal in 2023 was supposed to mark a new chapter for him. Instead, it turned into a roller coaster. He started the first 2 games of the 2024 season but quickly found himself sidelined, appearing in only 5 games before being cut in November. The reasons? A mix of injuries, inconsistent performances, and perhaps a misalignment between player and team expectations. Does this mean Davis is a bust? Not necessarily. Football is as much about fit as it is about talent, and the Bears' struggles as a whole might have contributed to Davis's lackluster stint. For the Dolphins, this could be an opportunity to grab a seasoned player at a potentially discounted price. The Dolphins' offensive line has been a recurring storyline for years, one of frustration, occasional hope, and constant tinkering. While players like Terron Armstead have provided stability, the line as a whole still leaves room for improvement. The run game, in particular, has seen ups and downs, with Raheem Mostert and others occasionally breaking out but often stymied by a lack of consistent blocking. Davis's track record in run blocking could be exactly what this team needs to create more balance on offense. And then there's Tua Tagovailoa. Protecting him has to be a top priority for Miami. While Davis has faced criticism for his pass protection at times, his strength and experience could offer much-needed support to keep Tua upright and thriving in Mike McDaniel's dynamic system. Of course, there's always a risk when signing a player who's been cut mid-season. Is Davis past his prime, or did he simply need a change of scenery? The Dolphins would need to weigh these questions carefully. His history of injuries could also be a concern. Miami has been burned before by players who came in with high expectations only to spend more time in the medical tent than on the field. But sometimes, risks are worth taking, especially when the upside is this clear. Davis's time with the Titans showed what he's capable of when healthy and in the right system. If the Dolphins believe their coaching staff can reignite that spark, it's a gamble that could pay off in spades. Picture this, a beefed-up offensive line anchored by veterans and complemented by a player like Davis, who thrives in the run game. Imagine what that could do for Miami's offense. With defenses forced to respect the ground attack, it could open up even more opportunities for Tua, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle to shred secondaries. Davis's physicality and technique could also set the tone for a more aggressive line, something that's been missing at times. If the Dolphins want to make a deep playoff run, they need players who can hold their own against the league's best pass rushers and bulldoze lanes for their backs. Davis has proven he can do that, even if his Chicago chapter wasn't his finest hour. The Dolphins have been making noise all season, and there's a sense that they're on the verge of something special. But let's be honest, to go from playoff contender to legitimate Super Bowl threat, they need every piece of the puzzle to fit perfectly. Adding a player like Nate Davis could be part of that equation. There's also the psychological aspect to consider. Bringing in a player with playoff experience, someone who's been in the thick of it with a team like the Titans, could add a layer of toughness and grit to Miami's locker room. Davis knows what it takes to grind through a season and make a push for the postseason. That kind of mentality can be infectious. The Dolphins' interest in Davis may still be speculative at this point, but the timing feels right. Free agency moves can be unpredictable, and there's no guarantee Miami will make an offer or that Davis would accept it. But one thing's for sure, if the Dolphins are serious about bolstering their offensive line, Davis is a name worth considering. Could this be the start of a new chapter for Davis and the Dolphins? Or will Miami look elsewhere for reinforcements? As the offseason unfolds, this is a storyline every Dolphins fan should keep an eye on.